Rich County, to some, may just be a cold corner in northeast Utah. But to those who call it home, Rich County is a place where competitors live and championships are born. Under first-year head coach Lex Cornea, Rich men's basketball looks to turn things around. With no shortage of returning firepower and a hard-nosed Rebel defense being instilled, the boys who call Rich home are prepared to dominate on the hardwood. Welcome into another broadcast of Rich men's basketball on My Local Radio. This broadcast could not be possible without these Rebel supporting businesses: Evanston Regional Hospital, Hoover Chiropractic, Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley, The Come On In Casper, Plains Tire, the Best Western Dunmar Inn and Legal Tender, Freeway Tire, Auto Farm Chevrolet, West Star Printing, and Rocky Mountain Sign. All right, Rebel fans, get ready as it's time to join the voice of the Rebels, Matthew Peterson, down at the court for another edition of Rebel Basketball.
Good evening, Rebel fans, and welcome to Randolph, Utah for the first basketball game of the 2021 year. Happy to have you alongside me. I'm Matthew Peterson, and the Rebels will be hosting the North Summit Braves this evening as the JV match is currently underway for those of you watching at mylocalradio.com. If you're listening on 98.3 FM KADQ, we're just starting our Gary Tuscher pregame show. For all of your accounting needs, you can visit them in Montpelier, Idaho. Give them a call at 208-847-2601. Committed to helping you achieve the highest returns on your taxes. Visit him at www.garytcpa.com. We got an exciting matchup tonight between the Rebels and the Braves. We got a lot of ground to cover in our pregame show. We're going to go through our scene set, our standout student, and our coaches show portion of the broadcast first, and then we'll get to the second half of our pregame show, setting up a 7 p.m. tip-off between the Rebels and the Braves. Don't go anywhere. We're just getting started. It's Rich Rebel Basketball right here on Rebel Radio.
Two of the things you work hardest for in life are your family and your money. Taking care of the money you earn is an important part of taking care of your family. Gary Tuscher, CPA of Montpelier, Idaho, is a rancher who's also provided professional tax preparation and financial services for more than 30 years.
When it comes to taxes and your money, make sure it's handled the best way possible. Call me today, 208-847-2601.
Back to Rich High for tonight's matchup between the Rebels and the North Summit Braves. Let's get into our Gary Tuscher pregame show a little more as we set up our scene set. Our scene set always brought to you by J-Bar Excavation, the team, the tools, and the experience for your excavation project. Give them a call at 435-793-5855. Let's set the scene for you. The Rebels are entering tonight with a 3-3 overall record. They have dropped their previous two games, both of them on the road and both of them a year ago. Well, not quite, but you got to make that joke sooner than later. So they lost at the end of December on the road in Wendover against the Wildcats, and then wrapped up the 2020 year and a loss against Tinnick on the road as well. Now, the offense so far this season is doing pretty well, and the defense kind of par for the course. Offense averaging just over 55 points per game, and the defense nearly a carbon copy. Defense giving up 55.3 points per game, so just 1/10 of a point in the difference between what the offense and defense are doing on the court. Now, as for the North Summit Braves, they're coming in with a 3-2 overall record. Their last time out on the court, they took down Taviona 55-23, but that was back on December 18th. So, like the Rebels, they've been off for a while and look to shake off that rust early on. Offensively, North Summit this season averaging just over 60 points per game, and defensively giving up just over 51 points per game. So you compare that to Rich, they're outscoring their opponents and they're giving up less than the Rebels. So Rich will have some ground to make up here against a tough 2A North Summit team. That's our scene set here in our Gary Tusher pregame show. We've got a lot more coverage and action to go over before the tip-off, which will be at 7 p.m. roughly, depending on when this JV game will conclude. Right now, the Rebels in this JV contest, I should mention, are trailing 33-22 with about 4.5 to go in the fourth quarter. But we're going to step aside for a moment, and when we return, we'll have our Western Ag Credit Standout Student. It's a great interview, as always, today, so you'll be sure you want to hear that one. That's coming up just after this. It's the Rebels and the North Summit Braves getting underway here in Randolph at 7 p.m.
Whether you're looking for gravel, sand, topsoil, rock, or other materials for your excavation or landscaping project, trust the experienced, knowledgeable team at J-Bar Excavation, specializing in sale and delivery of the materials you need to finish your project. J-Bar Excavation in Randolph, Utah has the team, the tools, and the plan to help you create exactly what you're looking for. J-Bar does quality work that fits your schedule and your budget. Call J-Bar Excavation today, 435-793-5855.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, LSR Refrigerated, and the Walletines in Garden City. Darren, Tricia, and the entire Walletine clan wish the Rebels good luck. And by Cat Answer Technical Services, proudly supporting the Rich Rebels. The staff at Cat Answer Technical Services wish the Rebels good luck on the field, on the court, in the classroom, and in life.
Go Rich Rebels!
Welcome back into our Gary Tusher pregame show between the Rebels and the North Summit Braves. That'll get going in roughly, I'm going to say 20 minutes, 25 minutes at tops, give or take. But before we get into that action, let's turn things over to our Western Ag Credit Standout Student.
I'm now with a standout student from Rich High. It's Maddie Weston. Maddie, how are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Maddie, I want to start by asking you how the basketball season's going for you.
It's going pretty good, I think.
Yeah, I'd say pretty well as well. Have you been playing basketball for a long time? Is it a new recent hobby of yours? What's been the timeline of your basketball career?
I started playing Little League when I was in elementary, and then in third grade we got on a traveling team, and I've been a part of this team ever since.
Oh, that's awesome. So you've been with Coach Lundgren for quite some time now. What's it like to have the same coach for a few years there?
It's really nice. He knows all of our abilities, and we've just been running the same set, so we all know what we want to do.
All right, Maddie, so tell me about your senior year and how that's going.
It's going pretty fast.
Yeah, I think that's a great way of summing it up. Maddie, have you thought about what you want to do after Rich High and what interest you have outside?
Right now I'm doing my CNA, and then I'm going to go down to SUU and pursue the medical field.
Oh, that's awesome. So what made you want to pursue the medical field?
I just like helping other people. It just makes me happy.
You know what? I think that's a great reason right there. You don't say any more than that. So, Maddie, let's get away from Rich High for a moment. Tell me about what you like to do in your spare time.
I like to spend time with my family, and I like to go to Disneyland.
You like to go to Disneyland? Okay, let's explore that vein a little bit. We're talking about Disneyland, I'm assuming, in California?
Yeah.
So what are some of your favorite attractions?
I like Splash Mountain and Indiana Jones.
You know, those are two great rides right there. So who is your favorite Disney character?
Tiana from Princess and the Frog.
Right. That's one of the newer Disney movies and one of the more recent Disney princesses. But I love the choice right there. So another question I want to ask Maddie is, have you only been to Disneyland? And if so, is Disney World next on your bucket list or a Disney cruise?
I've been to Disneyland every year of my life. I think going to Disney World would be pretty cool, but it's also like really spread out, so I don't know.
Yeah. It's a very big kingdom they have over there. For them to be exact. So, Maddie, this has been great. Thank you so much for catching up with me today. Is there anything else you want to go over?
I don't think so.
All right, that's great. Maddie Weston, a senior from Rich High, a standout student.
Big thanks to Maddie for giving me some of her time, and I loved that part about Disneyland. You never get too old for Disney, in my opinion. All right, folks, we got a little under 3 minutes to go in the JV matchup prior to the varsity tip-off between your Rich High Rebels and the visiting North Summit Braves. So we'll power on our Gary Tusher pregame show, but first, we'll step aside for a quick break.
When your vehicle needs new tires, any tire store can get you back on the road. But only Plains Tire can get you rolling again with the peace of mind that you were treated well, paid a fair price, and that you'll be taken care of for the life of the tire. At Plains Tire, trained tire technicians mount and expertly balance your new tires, replace the valve stems, and hand check each lug nut to make sure it's all tight and secure. Plus, you'll get lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations only at Plains Tire, 157 Bear River Drive, Evanston. Visit plainstire.com.
Whether you need a big bite to eat, a tasty snack, or a sweet treat, the Crawford Trough in Randolph has it all to satisfy your cravings. From tasty burgers and wraps, patty melts and perfect pitas to fresh salads, home-cut fries, crispy onion rings, and of course, that silky smooth ice cream. The Crawford Trough can feed your hunger and then some. And if you haven't tried one of the Trough's mixed sodas, your taste buds don't know what they're missing. Stop in today at the place to eat and drink, the Crawford Trough at 120 South Main, Randolph.
Welcome back into our pregame coverage of the Rebels and Braves matchup. It's time to get into our coaches show now. It's presented by T7 Propane. And we're going to start with the opposing head coach for the North Summit Braves, Aaron Priest.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The safe and professional team at T7 Propane offers quality product and the most responsive propane service in the area, so you can enjoy the affordability, reliability, and efficiency of propane. For heating, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for your personal or business propane needs. 435-793-4208.
Welcome into the T7 Propane Coaches Show. I am with the North Summit Boys Basketball head coach, Aaron Priest. Coach, I want to start by asking, you guys are getting ready for your first game in about 2 weeks as you had a break over winter break. So tell me, what's the preparation been like this week?
Yeah, it's definitely been an interesting break. We had a game scheduled, but because of COVID and all those fun things, we weren't able to play against Morgan. So, yeah, it's been a couple weeks. And, yeah, it may take a few minutes of a ball game to wear some rust back off that practice just can't do. So we hope just to get up there and battle and start getting after and hopefully get that rust off pretty quick.
Coach, the Rebels and the Braves don't have a long history on the hardwood. So what do you know about Rich Rebel basketball?
Well, you know, we've been able to watch a few games on film, and they look like a hard-nosed bunch of guys that get after it and look to just play good, hard-nosed basketball. So it's going to be a fun experience for us to come up and have to battle through a game against these tough guys.
Coach, let's turn things around on your side a little bit. You got a star player in Quentin Jones. He's averaging over 16 points per game. Can you tell me a little bit about his style of play and fill me in on the rest of the key players on your side?
Yeah, Quinn's put in a lot of work in the gym and in the weight room to get where he's at. And so he's definitely deserving of that play that he's been fortunate to have so far. And, you know, the guys around him, Wade Morrill, working that high post, is able to get the ball down low and work that ball back and forth between him and Quentin. And, you know, Alec and Trey and Cameron have all done a good job of moving the ball and trying to attack the basket and use Q's height and his skill to our advantage. So it's been a good preseason for us, and with this game, we hope to be able to do the same, work the ball around and look to use those skills to our advantage.
Coach, as you guys wrapped up December and now move into a new year, you've got a couple games under your belt. You've learned a little bit about your team. What's the biggest improvement you want to see out of your side going into conference play and really into the meat of your schedule?
Yeah, there's just some things, that you try to work through preseason to get those wrinkles out. I really just want us to focus on those little things that'll make us better and push us to hopefully, peak at the right time, cleaning up turnovers and getting that ball where it needs to be at the right time. Just those steps and those seconds that you get through gameplay. So hopefully as we get these next few games in, we can start rolling and getting that feel for the game and climbing like every coach wants their team to do going into region and then peaking at the right time going into that tournament.
Coach, I want to thank you for your time today and looking forward to the matchup between the Rebels and the Braves.
Yeah, we are too. It's going to be a battle. We're excited.
Big thanks to head coach Aaron Priest and our T7 Propane pregame coaches show. We'll step aside, and when we return, it's time to hear from the Rebels basketball head coach Lex Cornea. We're closing in on tip-off between Rich High and North Summit, so don't go anywhere. Rebel basketball is right around the corner.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, the Wilson Ranch in Randolph. Good luck, Rebels, from Dale, Kim, Kyler, and Casey. Remember, the harder you work, the more good luck you'll have. And by Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply, a custom shop specializing in leather and wood goods, with a farm feed and supply store to boot. Proudly supporting the Rich Rebels, the Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply Store.
Welcome back to Randolph, Utah. The JV matchup just concluded, and the Braves came in and won 46-30 over your Rebels. But it's time to continue on in our Gary Tusher pregame show and the second half of our T7 Propane Coaches Show with head coach Lex Cornea. Welcome into another episode of the Rebel Update. I'm Matthew P. Here, an interview with a Rich High faculty member here on the Rebel Update every weekday at 3:30 p.m. on 98.3 FM.
Coach Cornea, great to catch up with you. I want to ask, how was your winter break?
Oh, it was great. I don't know. We spent some time with family, but a little bit limited. We didn't go quite as far as what we would in a typical year, and it was almost nicer that way. Got to spend time with my kids. We got in here for some practices with the team, but I think they had a lot of time with their families and were able to decompress and get ready for this this next part of the season, where most of our big things will happen over the course of about the next month and a half, 2 months, as we prepare for the state tournament. So, it's a good chance for kids to get away for a minute, and I was really happy with the break.
Coach, how do you kind of view that break? Is it difficult for the team to get back into the swing of things, or is it nice to have a little break from basketball?
No, I think it's good for guys to get away. We practiced 3 times last week, but the state of Utah issues moratorium, which I actually appreciate because it lets kids just be with their families, be with their parents, and that's something that they need. A basketball season is a marathon, not a sprint, and you don't want to be that team that peaks, mid-December or peaks, mid-January. You want to peak at the end of February and early March. And I think that time away, some breaks like this are really essential to just, keeping kids on that course for that marathon and not burning out.
Talking about a marathon, you guys got 3 games this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Are you concerned at all about kind of jumping right into the fire after the break?
No, I think that's what you need. And 2 of these games, are either against a non-classification opponent like North Summit, who's 2A, or an out-of-state opponent like Westside. And I think it's good to have those games and just really jump right back into it. I mean, we're not in the business of practice. We're in the business of playing basketball games. And so the best way to get ready for that is to play more games. So I'm actually happy we've got 3 games coming right off of the break. Over the break, we were able to look at some things and hopefully polish some things up. I think guys are still getting more familiar with me and new systems that we're running, and I think we accomplished that over the break. And, these 3-game stretches, they're as close as we get to a state tournament, playing back-to-back nights, not being able to prep opponents, as much detail as what we would like. Because, with 3 games in 3 days, you can kind of prep your first one. But as far as going for those next 2, you about have to, do that on the fly. And I think that's similar to what the second or the third and fourth nights of a state tournament are like.
I'm with Rich High boys basketball head coach Lex Cornea. Coach Cornea, it's a new year. What's the New Year's resolution for boys basketball over at Rich?
We want our execution to match the level of our effort. We told these guys that they really do work hard. As we went to Wendover and Tinnick and in other games this season, it's never been a lack of effort or a lack of work in our losses. It's been a lack of execution. And, there's lots of teams that never get that work part figured out. And I think that this group, they do play very hard. You don't really see guys taking breaks or letting up in the course of the game, and that's great. But we also need to have our execution match that level of intensity we bring to the floor. That's kind of our focus this week and throughout the next couple weeks. But I do think that, this team will peak at the most important point of the season, which is, about 2 months away right now. And that's important, and I think they've kind of bought into that they're going to continue to get better, to get more familiar with things. Things will clean up as they go. And in the meantime, just playing hard and diving on the floor and fighting for possessions will put them in games that, put them in a position to win games that maybe they wouldn't have been with their lack of execution. But that will get better as we go.
Coach Cornea, I'm excited to see you guys back on the hardwood.
Yeah, we're excited to be there, and we're glad to be home.
Absolutely. That is Rich High boys basketball head coach Lex Cornea.
That is, like I said, head coach Lex Cornea on our T7 Propane Coaches Show. We are just over 10 minutes away from tip-off to start the 2021 basketball year. That's right. And it's the Rebels and the North Summit Braves. North Summit coming into town with a 3-2 record, while the Rebels trying to get above 500. They're currently sitting at 3-3. We've got more ground to go over in our Gary Tuscher pregame show. We'll have our keys of the game, our pregame slice presented by Old Chicago Pizza in Logan. And then before you know it, our starting lineups right before tip-off. So don't go anywhere. We got a lot of great Rebel basketball coming up right after this.
When do you schedule doctor appointments?
In bed before I fall asleep.
In the car waiting to pick up my kids.
We can even do it after breakfast.
We all lead busy lives. Online appointment scheduling puts you in control. In just 90 seconds, you can make an appointment with a primary care provider or specialist at evanstonanytime.com. Select the day and time most convenient for you. Enter some basic information, and just like that, you're scheduled for care. Schedule appointments for next day and beyond at evanstonanytime.com.
Whatever takes you to Evanston, whether it's high school sports, a teaching conference, music festivals, speech and debate, or your job, always book your hotel reservations at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. With 165 ground-level rooms on 10 acres, the Best Western offers everything you need, including newly renovated rooms, a business office, workout room, outdoor pool, and full-service restaurant, plus complimentary breakfast with every stay. Whenever you're in Evanston, make your hotel reservations with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. Dr. Todd Hoover does all of the chiropractic work you need, as well as blood work, dietary supplements, a weight loss program, x-rays, and can help you get rid of migraines and allergies. Call Hoover Chiropractic at 307-789-0043.
Two of the things you work hardest for in life are your family and your money. Taking care of the money you earn is an important part of taking care of your family. Gary Tusher, CPA of Montpelier, Idaho, is a rancher who's also provided professional tax preparation and financial services for more than 30 years.
When it comes to taxes and your money, make sure it's handled the best way possible. Call me today, 208-847-2601.
Welcome back, and we have 7.5 minutes to go before the Rebels and the Braves clash on the hardwood. So let's get to the finale of our pregame show, and we'll start things off with the Town of Laketown's Laketown Ledger. Good luck, Rebels, from the Mayor and Town Council of Laketown, Mayor Burdett Weston, Council members Dallas Clark, Gary Ogilvie, Delora White, and Eldon Robinson. All right, folks, let's learn a little bit about the history between the Rebels and the Braves. So it's not a big history. If you got a history book out of this, it would be a paperback, thin read. So Rich is 0-2 versus North Summit all time. This is only the third meeting, despite being pretty nearby each other, only separated by Evanston and a couple miles on the highway, about 60 miles, give or take. So the team from Colville making the way up north, and the Braves won last year 60-32. It was a dominating fashion. That was the first matchup in quite some time. The second matchup all time, and the previous matchup, North Summit dominated Rich again. So North Summit has won both games by 20-plus points. So the Rebels look to not only just cut into that deficit, but try to pick up a win and get in the win column against their rivals who they had some heated football games with. You go back to a couple months ago, in that first-round playoff game, a lot of familiar faces. This time they don't have helmets on. There's just a big orange ball separating them. So should be a great matchup tonight between the Rebels and the Braves. Let's check out what's next on our Gary Tusher pregame show. How about the keys of the game? That's right. So the first key is rest versus rust. A common sports debate sports enthusiasts love to have. The Rebels have not played in over 2 weeks now. So will they be rusty or will they enjoy the rest? We're going to find out. Second key is control the pace. They're playing a really good Braves team. Make no mistake, this is a 2A school that's got a lot of great athletes. So early on in the game, don't let North Summit come into your own gymnasium and dominate what the tempo and the pace of this game will be like. So that's our second key of the game. And the third key, you got to defend number 32, Quinton Jones. He's averaging over 16 points per game. That's the highest on the floor for either side. He's a playmaker. He's a star, and you got to be able to lock him down. Rebels have some great defense that's coming along. We're seeing the improvement week after week. They went to Wendover and held the high-scoring Wildcats to under 50 points in a loss. So those are small victories. So the Rebels will have a tall order when they go up against number 32, Quinton Jones. All right, let's check out our Old Chicago Pizza and Tap Room pregame slice. It's going to be the Braves in their road purple jerseys and the Rebels in their home white uniforms. And as for the crowd, I must say, it's not sparse. We've got a good amount of Rebel faithful being shown around. In fact, let's put on our Bear Lake Realty fan cam. Let's show some of the Rebel fans that have made the trip right here to Randolph. And you're seeing a lot of parents from both sides, I'd imagine. Sitting to my right now is a lot of North Summit fans, and across the way, a lot of Rich High students. So a healthy crowd tonight. Hopefully going to be able to cheer on the Rebels to a win. And that's the first of our Bear Lake Realty fan cams. All right, folks, we got a little under 4 minutes to go. We'll get into our starters for tonight. These are the starters that we believe they will be based on my predictions of being starters in the previous weeks. It's not a real science, but here we go. So as for the Braves, what they're going to do is they're going to send out number 1 senior Alec Hunsacker. Hunsacker averaging about 10.5 points per game. Alongside Alec Hunsacker, another senior, Wade Morrill. That's someone Coach Priest talked about in the pregame interview. They like to keep him at the high post and kind of facilitate the ball from down low and up top. That's senior Wade Morrill, who averages under 10 points per game, just by a hair though. Another senior joining the starting ranks is Cameron Croxford. Number 23, he averages about 2.5 points per game, but don't let that number deceive you. He can get a lot of damage done effectively on the defensive half of the court. The only junior in the starting lineup is Trayson Pace. He averages just under 16 points per game, so not far behind Quinton Jones. And that brings us to number 32, senior Quinton Jones, averaging just over 16 points per game. That's the first half there of our starting lineups tonight between the Rebels and the Braves. Clock currently reads just over 2.5 minutes to go until the tip-off. So let's check out our starters for the Rich Rebels. Rebels entering with a 3-3 overall record, and Coach Cornier told me it's the usual 5 suspects getting out there to start. It's number 2, senior Connor Greer, averaging just under 12 points per game and about 4.3 rebounds per game as well. Another senior in the starting ranks, all 5 seniors I should say, is Riley Taylor. Riley Taylor, such a great two-way player. He's averaging 9.5 points per game and, like Connor Greer, 4.3 rebounds per game. Up next, the big fella, number 23, senior Logan Meerbrook, who's also averaging 9.5 points per game. A lot of similar stat lines here, but he's picking up a little over 6 boards each game as well. Fellow senior Truman Huffner out there to start as well. Truman averaging 4 points per game and 4 rebounds just about as well, but a dynamic player that can do the job on both sides of the court. And finally, it's number 40, senior John Scott, leading the way for the Rebels in the scoring department. He's been picking up that part of his game in the last couple of games. He now averages just over 13 points per game. So if this game's going to turn into a shootout, it very well could be the Scott and Jones show. Let's see what other players want to chime in with some points of their own. All right, folks, that's going to do it for our Gary Tusher pregame show. We've just got about a minute to go until the tip-off between the Rebels and the Braves. We'll step aside for another quick break during the national anthem, and then when we return, you know what time it is. It's Rebel basketball. Rich, North Summit, here in Randolph.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on mylocalradio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, the Wilson Ranch in Randolph. Good luck, Rebels, from Dale, Kim, Kyler, and Casey. Remember, the harder you work, the more good luck you'll have. And by Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply, a custom shop specializing in leather and wood goods, with a farm feed and supply store to boot. Proudly supporting the Rich Rebels, the Argyle Ranch Saddle and Boot, Feed and Supply Store.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The safe and professional team at T7 Propane offers quality product and the most responsive propane service in the area, so you can enjoy the affordability, reliability, and efficiency of propane. For heating, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for your personal or business propane needs. 435-793-4208.
The best place to stay when you're in Casper, Wyoming is the Come On In Hotel and Suites. This beautiful log hotel offers 5 hot tubs, 1 pool, a fitness center, and fabulous indoor atrium. Offering jacuzzi and fireplace suites, the guest rooms are comfortable and relaxing. Plus, every stay includes a delicious extended continental breakfast. Whenever you're in Casper, stay at the best place. Come On In Hotel and Suites. Come on in today. Come On In Hotel and Suites, Casper.
A great playing of our national anthem just a few moments ago, and now it's time for Rebel basketball. That's right, folks. It's Principal Larson on the mic right now, announcing the starting lineups. Alec Hunsaker, again the starting lineup. Wade Morrill, Cameron Croxford as well, like we mentioned. Quentin Jones, and then Trayson Pace as well. And that is the starting lineups for the North Summit Braves. And now let's check out the starting lineup for your Rich Rebels. Connor Greer getting the start. Here's Truman Huffner, number 3, a fellow senior, starting as well. Riley Taylor, 3 seniors in a row. Can we make it 4? Yes, we can. Logan Meerbrook gets the start as well. And the final starter is senior and student body president John Scott. All right, folks, it's time for the first quarter of Rebel basketball against the North Summit Braves. Rich entering with a 3-3 overall record, while North Summit comes in with a 3-2 mark. Neither side has played since late December. About a 2-week break to celebrate the holidays, but time has passed and we're ready for basketball again. I'm super excited. Happy to have you alongside me for what should be a great matchup between the Rebels and the Braves. Rich in their home whites going from left to right, while the visiting Braves in their road purples going right to left. Tip-off is up, and it's won back by North Summit. Bringing the ball up for the Braves right now is Cameron Crockford. Crockford feeds it inside. It's batted away, and it falls to the hands of Meerbrook. Here come the Rebels after a quick Rich County government steal. It's John Scott looking to traveling Riley Taylor in the corner. So back-to-back turnovers for both sides to start this first quarter. We're still scoreless on the Station On main scoreboard with just about 7.5 minutes to go. North Summit struggled to get the ball across, but they do now. It's Hunsaker with it. Saker pass it to the far side. Now Crawford at the top of the key with it. Cameron Crawford dribbles to his right momentarily, picks it up and passes it away. It's Wade Morrow looking up top for Quentin Jones for three. Knocked it down. 3-0 Braves on the Station on Main scoreboard with 7:08 and counting to go. Rebels trying to respond with the basket now. Let's see how they fare. They look inside to Meerbrook and has a shot in. Tipped momentarily, but it falls regardless. Could have been goaltending, I think, but it's a 3-2 game. Rebels on the scoreboard thanks to Logan Meerbrook. Braves moving it around at the top of the key with Crockford right now. Dribbling to his left, looking for a friendly face, looks inside of the paint. Receiving it was Morrill. Morrill at the post, dishes out to Crockford, who works alongside the baseline, up off the glass, fouled and one. Basket counts, and he'll shoot a free throw to try and complete the three-point play. It is now 5-2. Braves over the Rebels with 6.5 to go in our first quarter. Crockford puts the free throw up and off the front iron, but North Summit rebounds it. Morrill pass out to Jones. He looked inside. The ball moves around to Crockford and ultimately goes to Hunsaker at the top of the key. Alec Hunsaker with a quick bounce pass to Quentin Jones, who puts up a three of his own off the back iron, rebounded by Greer. Greer hauls it in, and now he starts to dribble up the court. Connor Greer passes it off to Huffner in the far wing. Dribbling alongside the baseline, picked up his dribble, wants to get rid of it, passes off to Taylor on the far wing. Riley Taylor gives it top to Connor Greer. Greer dribbles to his right momentarily and passes it over to John Scott. Scott passing up to Meerbrook at the top of the arc, thought about shooting the three, opted not to. Passes off to Greer, who was fouled as he was making his way towards the basket, and first foul for either side with 5:53 to go in the first quarter. It's still 5-2 on the Station on Main scoreboard in favor of the away team. Inbound pass goes to Taylor. Rebels moving along the perimeter of the defense for the moment. Huffner with it right now, passing it off to Scott. Scott near that Rebel R in the center court, passing to Greer for three. Offline, rebounded by the Braves. Here comes Crockford with it. Crockford on the near wing, bouncing his way in and now bouncing his way back out. Crockford trying to find someone to go to, and he looks inside in the paint, and having a shot denied was Morrill. Braves got the ball back, but a missed three, and the Rebels have it now. Huffner came up with the rebound, passes it over to Greer. Greer looking in the far corner for Meerbrook. He passes up top to Huffner. Huffner drives in along the elbow, puts up a floater off the glass and good. What a great shot by Truman Huffner. His first points of the day, and it's now 5-4. Braves leading on the Station on Main scoreboard. North Summit turns it over. Here come the Rebels. It's a one-on-one. Greer goes up with it, misses it, but right behind him was Scott to lay it in on the putback attempt, and Rich has a slim lead. It's 6-5 Rebels with 4.5 just about to go in the first quarter. Braves get the ball across half court. North Summit working along the post, putting up a bit of a floater, but unable to connect was Alec Hunsaker, and Rich comes up with the rebound. Greer thought about driving in, picks up his dribble, passes to the far corner for Huffner for three. In and out, rebounded by Jones. Jones, overhead pass, finds Hunsaker. He gets his way towards the basket, and he's fouled by Scott, his first of the game. And Hunsaker will take a trip to the Bear Lake Realty free throw line to try to put his team back on top, or at least tie it. It's 6-5 Rich with 4:15 to go in the first quarter. Tell you what, these two teams do not look like they haven't played basketball in 2 weeks. When it comes to the speed of the game, they are flying around the court. Hunsaker's first free throw is up and good, and we are back to a tied game for the first time since it was 0-0. 6-all on the Station on Main scoreboard. Hunsaker to attempt the second free throw now and try to put his team in the lead. Free throw up short, rebounded by Meerbrook. He passes it over to Scott, crossing half court, picks up his dribble now, and Scott passes to Huffner on the near side. Huffner has yet to dribble, now he does to his left, and gives it right back to Scott on the far wing. Scott feeds it inside to Meerbrook at the block, off the glass, and good. Rebels retake the lead. It's 8-6, thanks to another basket from Logan Meerbrook. 4 points in this opening quarter. Couple quick passes, ends with Quinton Jones wide open beneath the basket. He puts it in, and we're back to a tied ball game. It's 8-8 now between the Rebels and the Braves. And the Rebels move the ball down the court on offense, and a whistle blew. Rich inbounds the ball now to Truman Huffner. Huffner passing it back. Goes over to Scott on the near wing for three. Off the back iron, no good. Rebounded by loose ball. Who's got it? North Summit does. Here comes Pace. And Pace had that ball dribble off his foot out of play. It's Rich Rebel basketball. 8-8 with 3:23 to go in our opening quarter between Rich and North Summit. Inbound pass goes to Greer right now, and he passing it across to Taylor. Couple cross-court passes, ends with Scott pulling up, floater inside the paint, no good, gets his own miss, goes back up with it. Rebels want a foul, they don't get on the second chance opportunity from Scott, and it's North Summit basketball, and leisurely dribbling up the court is Hunsaker. Hunsaker passing it off to Jones. Jones by far the tallest player on the court right now, passing it across to Pace. Looks down low to Titan Hemingway, who just checked into the game. A block by Meerbrook on a shot attempt by North Summit. Here come the Rebels. It's Scott for three. No good. Rebound, Meerbrook. Meerbrook kicks it back out to Greer for three. That is! Splash! And the Rebels have a 3-point lead. It's 11-8 thanks to a 3-point shot from Connor Greer. Another turnover, and here comes Greer going up with it. Puts it home. 5 quick points from number 2, and the Rebels lead it 13-8 on the Station on Main scoreboard with 2:15 to go in the first quarter, and the crowd is loving it. We'll step aside for a quick break after a timeout was called from Coach Priest. When we return, it's the Rebels leading by 5 with just over 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
In the state where life is elevated, live your life in a higher gear. Cash Honda Yamaha can help you enjoy our beautiful local terrain, whether it's in the valleys, mountains, snow, or water. So get out and enjoy all nature has to offer at a higher speed. Visit Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley to start living your life at your new speed. Visit us in Hyde Park, just north of Logan, Utah.
Connor Greer knocked in a 3 and then turned a steal into 2. Quick 5 points for the Rebels, who now have a 13-8 advantage over the visiting Braves. Another turnover, another steal for Connor Greer. Passing it off to Huffner on the far wing. Looks inside to Meerbrook. Logan goes up, shot no good, loose ball rebounded by Jones. Here comes North Summit. Bringing the ball up is Hunsaker. Hunsaker dribbling it back to center court. Under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter, Rebels lead by 5. Alec Hunsaker passing it over to Trayson Pace on the near side. He looks inside to Jones, has a shot blocked. Foul is called. Foul is on Logan Meerbrook. That's a good time to foul. Quinton Jones had good position inside of him. Why not make him earn it at the charity stripe? So senior Jones takes a trip to the free throw line. He's got 5 points already in this first quarter. Looking for his 6th. Shot is up and no good. And now we'll get junior Riley Carrillo to check into the game for the Rebels. He'll replace Logan Meerbrook. So Meerbrook, after he got the foul charged to him, goes to the bench for Carrillo. Jones, second free throw opportunity up, and that does fall. So it's 13-9. Rebels get it across half court, but a loose ball, and it escapes the fingertips of Truman Huffner and goes out of play. And it is North Summit basketball. 13-9 Rebels. Braves have it on offense. Pace in the far wing. Looks inside to Jones at the top of the free throw line. Jones passes it off to Hunsaker. Put up a shot, never had a chance. Rebounded by Greer. Greer crosses half court with a little under a minute and a half to go. He passes it over to Huffner. Huffner wants to dribble with it, has plenty of room to do so. Now he does. Down the baseline, he's fouled hard. Truman Huffner was just kind of bodied by Alec Hunsaker. So a foul is called, and now it's going to be a inbound play presented by Mound Valley Cattle Company, thanks to Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho. And Hunsaker, who got the foul, is now on the bench afterwards. Greer to inbound it beneath the Braves basket. Has his pass taken away. Going the opposite direction right now is Hemingway. Shot no good, loose ball beneath the Rebel basket. Crawford got the rebound, went up with it, and knocked it in off the glass. It's 13-11. Rebels lead by 2 on the Station on Main scoreboard. And Rich got the ball across half court where Riley Taylor drew a foul with 50 seconds to go in the opening quarter. That is the third foul for either side now. Huffner with an inbound play. So miscommunication on who the foul is actually on, but they get it sorted out. Huffner inbounds to Greer, gives it right back to him, passes it over to Scott, back to Huffner at the top of the arc. 45 seconds to go in the quarter. Passing to Greer and back to Huffner at the top of the key. Huffner dribbles to his left, picked up his dribble and passes over to Scott. Scott inside to Greer. Greer along the baseline, puts up a short jump shot and knocks it in. What a first quarter for Connor Greer. He's already up to 7 points, and the Rebels extend their lead back to 4. It's 15-11 with under 20 seconds now to go in the quarter. Whistle blows as North Summit got it across half court, but Riley Carrillo is charged with a foul. Fourth foul on the Rebels, first for Carrillo. Inbound pass goes to Quentin Jones. Jones passes it back to Crawford. 15 seconds to go in the first quarter. Rebels lead by 4. Crawford at the top of the arc. Bounce pass, entry pass to Jones. Eventually gets it, puts it up. Rebounded by Scott. 5 seconds. Scott crosses half court. 3 seconds. Greer for a long 3 off the iron. Rebound North Summit, and the first quarter comes to an end. But it's the Rebels leading by 4 over the visiting Braves. 15-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard. We'll step aside, and when we return, we'll have the Stations Repair second quarter of Rich Rebel basketball. It's the home team leading by 4.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. Dr. Todd Hoover does all of the chiropractic work you need, as well as blood work, dietary supplements, a weight loss program, x-rays, and can help you get rid of migraines and allergies. Call Hoover Chiropractic at 307-789-0043.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
Rebels defending their home court right now, leading 15-11 over the visiting North Summit Braves as we start the second quarter of action. It's presented by Stacy's Repair. When you need a repair, take it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Rebels pass inside to Scott and back to Greer for 3. No good, off the mark. Rebounded though by Rich. Scott has it now at the elbow. Wants to pass it away, and he does so to Greer, who drives into the paint, kicks it out for a long 3 from Grohl, just checked in. That's too deep, and rebounded by Jones, and some aggressive hands from Jaden Grohl. Drew a foul afterwards, or was charged with a foul, I should say. So it's the Rebels leading by 4, 15-11 on the Station on Main scoreboard with 7:36 to go in the first half of action. Connor Greer led all scorers in that first quarter with 7 points. Hot start for Greer. Hemingway gets it across half court. He passes it off to Hunsaker. Hunsaker drives in, gets charged with a foul. Riley Carrillo drew it, fell like a tree, but he's awarded with a foul against the opposition. It's Rebel basketball as Greer inbounds it to Scott, who gives it right back to him. Greer patiently getting across half court, does so now. Picks up his dribble on the far side, passes to the elbow where Taylor was waiting for it. He looks to Grohl. Grohl shot too deep, off the mark, rebounded by the Braves. Hunsaker, guarded by Jaden Grohl now, gets across half court. 15-11 Rebels, under 7 minutes to go in the Stacy's Repair second quarter. A pass by Hemingway was last touched by a Rebel as it got out of play. So it will be North Summit ball to inbound beneath the Rebel basket. Alec Hunsaker will have the duties of inbounding it. He finds Jones, who puts up a quick shot. That missed everything, rebounded by Greer. Greer crossing half court with it. Passes it inside, has his pass taken away, loose ball, and the Braves come away with it. Hemingway passing it off to Morrill. Morrill had a shot missed, but a rebound opportunity is put back. And it's now 15-13 here in the second quarter. And it's going to be a timeout call by head coach Lex Cornea. The Rebels lead it by 2 with just under 6.5 to go in the first half.
If the idea of owning your own home in beautiful Bear Lake sounds like more than your finances can handle, visit the experts at Bear Lake Realty to learn how you can make it happen. Gary and Amber McKee at Bear Lake Realty can show you how to buy a home and rent it out, so it pays for itself while you enjoy it some of the time as well. And soon, you'll have your own place in the Caribbean of the Rockies. No one knows the market better, and no one else serves you better than Bear Lake Realty.
Rebels leading by 2 with about 6:21 to go in our second quarter, brought to you by Stacy's Repair. As Rob Leifson hands me some stats from that first quarter. Rich did a great job shooting from the field, 44%. As for North Summit, they shot 33%. Huffner passes it to Grohl in the corner. It's Scott, and whistle blows, and a jump ball is called, and possession arrow is going the Braves' direction. 15-13 Rebels. Braves have it. Hunsaker crossing half court. Passes it across to Pace. Pace had his ball taken away and stripped by Huffner. He's got it now. Truman Huffner one-on-one with Jones. Shot horribly denied. And Rebels pass it off a 3 from Scott. That's off the iron, rebounded by Jaden Grohl. Grohl passes to Huffner. Huffner trapped momentarily, wants to pass it, has it on the near wing, passing it up top to Connor Greer. Greer right back to Huffner. Back to Greer, the two playing tic-tac-toe with 5.5 remaining in the first half. Rebels lead it by 2 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Pass goes to John Scott in the corner. Passes back to Huffner. Huffner has it on the near wing. Looks inside the paint to Taylor. Puts up a quick shot. Rebounded by Scott momentarily, but had his ball ripped away, and a jump ball is called by Jones. This time it's Rebel basketball. So Rich will have another Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound play beneath the Braves basket. 5:10 to go in the second quarter. Rebels lead it by 2. Rich passing it along the top of the arc to Huffner. He gets it over to Hayden Meek, who just checked in. Pass to Greer for 3, in and out. Rebounded by Jones. Hunsaker crosses half court for North Summit. Pass it across to Pace. Pace looks inside, has his pass taken away by Taylor. Here come the Rebels on offense. It's Greer crossing half court. Had his pass taken away himself now, and here comes a loose ball. It's tracked down by, momentarily looked like Hunsaker would have it, but a speedy Meek caught up to him and dislodged the ball and put it out of play so the rest of his team could regroup. North Summit inbounds it now beneath the Rebel basket. They get it into Hunsaker in the paint. Hunsaker went up, travel. He wants a foul. He jumped up and landed with the ball. He can't do that. It's Rebel possession now with 4:35 to go in the second quarter. Rebels leading 15-13. Greer crosses half court. Greer, 7 points in that first quarter, quiet in the second. As the ball is taken away, and here comes the Braves. And a great pass from Hunsaker sets up a basket, and we are all even at 15 with just over 4 minutes remaining in the first half. A low-scoring affair so far. Greer passes to the near side for Scott. Scott has room, now passes to Hayden Meek at the top of the key, who goes the opposite direction. And now sets up a John Scott three. That splashes home. It is 18-15. Rebels lead it back by 3. They retake the lead. After a quiet start to the second quarter, but an and one on the other end for North Summit. Going up strong with it and drawing the foul was Ethan Judd. And Judd takes a trip to the free throw line to try and complete the three-point play. So Judd, after drawing the foul and putting the basket in, puts his team down by 1. It's 18-17 on the Station on Main scoreboard. 3:40 to go in our Stacy's Repair second quarter. And there's some kind of confusion. The 3 referees not on the same page right now, but we're all clear and good to go. So Judd to complete the three-point play. First free throw or only free throw up and good. And we are all even at 18 all. Rich having some difficulty getting the ball in. They turn it over. It's the Braves putting up a shot and one again. A flying Brave. Ethan Judd once again took a cross-court pass just about and drew the foul, and that ball somehow trickled in. And just like that, North Summit has a 2-point lead. It's 20-18. No, they're going to call lane violation on North Summit, which negates a made free throw, and the Rebels will only trail by 2 with 3.5 remaining in the first half. Huffner crosses half court, passes to Scott. He looks to Greer on the near baseline, who passes back over to Scott, pulls up for a long jump shot. No good, loose ball rebounded by Jones. Quentin Jones dishes it out to Judd, who passes to Hunsaker. 20-18, Braves lead on the Station on Main scoreboard with 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Crawford passing up top to Hunsaker. Braves have it on offense. They look to Morrill. Morrill passes to Crawford in the far corner, who dribbled in and picked up his dribble, and he's got a bit of a trap going on. Feeds it to Jones, who puts up a tough shot. Rebound, Morrill. He gets a second chance opportunity. That doesn't fall, and the rebound goes to Scott. Scott has his dribble poked away from him, and a great diving and saving effort by Meerbrook. Scrambled eggs right now for the Rebels, but somehow it goes to Logan Meerbrook, who somehow puts it in. Organized chaos by the Rebels, but it cashes in a bucket, and we're all even at 20 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Just over 2 minutes to go. Jones working on the block, went up with it, drew the foul, and senior Quentin Jones will take a trip to the free throw line for the second time today to try and put his side back on top with 2:12 to go in our Stacy's Repair second quarter. Rebels went into this quarter leading by 4, but it's been a 9-4 run for the Braves as Jones misses his first free throw. Riley Taylor is going to check back in for Hayden Meek. Second chance now for Quinton Jones. And free throw is up and good. So we have a 1-point game with just over 2 minutes to go in the first half. It's 21-20 in favor of the visiting team in purple. Huffner with it right now for the Rebels at the top of the arc. Dribbles, going not very far with it and passing it over to Scott on the near side. Scott, quick pass to Greer for three. That's off the mark, but he gets his own rebound. Greer passing it over to Huffner, who puts up a three of his own. That's off the glass, no good. Rebound Jones. Just over a minute and a half to go. Here come the Braves. They pass it over to Crawford. He dribbles in, now dribbles out, kicks it out to Hunsaker, who works along the baseline, and a reverse layup off the glass falls. It's 23-20. Braves on the Station on Main scoreboard. 1:20 and counting to go in our second quarter. Huffner brings the ball up. He passes to Greer on the near wing. Looks inside to Scott in the paint. He's got Braves all around him. And a foul is assessed to Cameron Crawford. It is only the fifth foul, though, for North Summit. So we're not in the 1-1 territory. It will be an inbound play beneath the basket. It's manned by Connor Greer. Passes to Taylor, who looks up top to Scott for three. Off the glass and iron, no good. Rebound Braves. Here comes Morrow. Pass it off to Hunsaker. Another nifty layup attempt, but this one doesn't work, but the rebound putback does by Quinton Jones. And we are all even. Sorry, I beg your pardon. It is 25-20. Now it's the Braves extending their lead. Meerbrook has at the top of the arc for the Rebels. He passes to Huffner on the far wing. Huffner passing to Scott at the top of the key. Goes right back to Huffner. Huffner begins to dribble in along the baseline, kicks it out, has the pass taken away. Here comes Hunsaker. Hunsaker has his own dribble stolen by Connor Greer. Greer dribbles in, now dribbles out of the paint. Pass to Scott for three, online, and good! Splash! And we've got a 2-point game. It is 25-23 Braves with just over 10 seconds to go. Crawford dribbles in, 8 seconds, dishes it out, off the glass, shot no good, rebound Rebels. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, Huffner, Greer from beyond half court, a Hail Mary is short. And that will do it for the first half of action. An exciting back and forth game so far that after 2 quarters of basketball in Randolph, it is the visiting Braves holding on to a slim 2-point lead over the Rebels, 25-23 on the Station on Main scoreboard. We'll step aside and we'll get into our halftime show. We'll have our first half highlights presented by the town of Randolph all throughout our Crawford Trough halftime show, so don't go anywhere. We've got more Rebel basketball coverage coming your way as the third quarter will get going in about 10 minutes.
Some decisions in life have a critical and lasting impact. For example, choices concerning your health care. You want a hospital that consistently offers high-quality care and service. For Bear Lake area residents and visitors, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital has been providing optimum health care to our community for more than 70 years. And Bear Lake Memorial has been recognized again this year as a top 20 hospital in best practices for quality. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care. History from the gangsters of the past like Babyface Nelson, Pretty Boy Floyd, and Bonnie and Clyde are at the Legal Tender restaurant located inside the Best Western Dunmar Inn. In 1957, retired FBI agent Jack Dub Mills purchased the motel. During his FBI career, Dub worked with many other famous agents like Elliot Ness and Sam Calley to take the criminals down. From the names on the menu to the nostalgia on the walls, notorious figures from the 1920s are all around. Come and enjoy a delicious meal surrounded by history today at the Legal Tender restaurant, 1601 Harrison Drive, Evanston.
Randolph, Utah is a town of extremes. At an elevation of almost 6,300 feet and with temperatures over 90 in the summer and often 40 below in the winter, the folks who call Randolph home have to be a hardy crew. Maybe that's one reason the simple things in life mean so much to Rich County. Residents value hard work, education, respect, a love for God, family, and country, and being a good neighbor. Mayor Lynn Weston and the town board proudly support the Rich Rebels and hope you'll be able to visit soon and come back often.
In the state where life is elevated, live your life in a higher gear. Cash Honda Yamaha can help you enjoy our beautiful local terrain, whether it's in the valleys, mountains, snow, or water. So get out and enjoy all nature has to offer at a higher speed. Visit Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley to start living your life at your new speed. Visit us in Hyde Park, just north of Logan, Utah.
Welcome back to our halftime coverage of the Rebels and Braves matchup, as the cheerleaders right now are putting on a wonderful show, as they always do, for some halftime entertainment. A great job by the Rich cheerleading team, coached by Shea Pace. All right, folks, it's a 2-point game after 16 minutes of Rebel basketball coverage. And now we are in our Crawford Trough halftime show. It's the place to eat and drink in all of Rich County, if I do say so myself. And winter hours are Thursday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. We've got our first half highlights coming up in a moment. We'll have some stats presented by my right-hand man, Rob Leifson. But for now, it's a 2-point game here in Randolph at the half between the Rebels and the Braves. Don't go anywhere. We'll have our third quarter of coverage coming up in about 6.5 minutes between these two sides.
Whether you need a big bite to eat, a tasty snack, or a sweet treat, the Crawford Trough in Randolph has it all to satisfy your cravings. From tasty burgers and wraps, patty melts and perfect pitas to fresh salads, home-cut fries, crispy onion rings, and of course, that silky smooth ice cream. The Crawford Trough can feed your hunger and then some. And if you haven't tried one of the Trough's mixed sodas, your taste buds don't know what they're missing. Stop in today at the place to eat and drink, the Crawford Trough at 120 South Main, Randolph.
Success doesn't come by accident. Success requires hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and believing in yourself. Eddie and Todd Jensen established the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho on these very principles. The students, staff, athletes, and coaches at Rich High School value these same fundamentals in education and activities, in athletics, and in life. Good luck, Rebels, from Mound Valley Cattle Company, serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997. You rely on your vehicle every day. Make sure your ride gets the best service, repairs, and maintenance possible. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff provides the highest quality, the latest technology, and the newest equipment to give your vehicle the absolute best auto care available. Family owned and operated since 1992, your friends at Stacy's Repair promise to always deliver value and outstanding, honest, and knowledgeable service, regardless of repair size or difficulty. Stacy's Repair, the ones who truly care.
Welcome back to Randolph. Here it's halftime right now at Rich High between the Rebels and the visiting North Summit Braves. And let's get to the rest of our Crawford Trough halftime show. We're going to have our Town of Randolph first half highlights. But first, let's check out some stats. So the Rebels shot 31% overall from the field, 44% from inside the arc, and only 19% from beyond the three-point line. But the big noteworthy thing is the Rebels shot 16 threes in that first half. I think that may be the most threes they've shot in a first half or any half all season long, as opposed to North Summit, who only shot 3 from beyond the arc. So the Rebels shot 3 for 16. If they can turn that 19% to 30%, it's a different second half here. As for the Braves, they shot 41% from the field, from 40% from the field, and 41% from within the three-point line. They went 1 from 3 from beyond the arc and made 9 trips to the free throw line, something the Rebels did not do once, and something that Coach Cornea wants to see more of. You've got to attack the hoop, and you've got to force fouls. North Summit only shot 4 for 9, though. Rebounding-wise, Rich had 17 rebounds, including 8 offensive rebounds. Connor Greer led the way with 5 of his own. And you talk about Connor Greer, he had 7 first half points. Quiet in the second quarter, though. As for the rest of the crew, North Summit themselves, they had 20 rebounds, 7 offensively, and Quinton Jones tallying 9 rebounds. Tallest guy in the court, you'd expect nothing less. In the turnover department, the Rich Rebels had 5 compared to the Braves 10. And those are our first half stats presented by Rob Leifson. How about our first half highlights now presented by the town of Randolph, home of the Rich Rebels. Good luck from the mayor, Lynn Weston, board members Sim Bell, Brian Wires, Larry Kennedy, Melanie Lim, and the town clerk, Lana Peer. First half highlights, you had a lot of great steals. Some Rich County government steals largely generated by Connor Greer. He had a couple, and he cashed a steal into 5 points in quick succession. Hit a 3-point shot, forced a steal, and then made a layup. 5 points in about 5 seconds, just like that, to help give the Rebels the lead to close out the first quarter. So that's definitely one of our biggest first half highlights. John Scott had one of those beautiful swoosh threes in the second quarter as well. And that would be Scott's only points so far in this first half. Looking at the stat sheet right now, Connor Greer leads the Rebels with 7 points. Behind him is Logan Meerbrook, who's got 6 of his own. Then it's John Scott with 3 and Truman Huffner with 2. And those are our first half highlights. We got about a minute and a half to go until the third quarter of Rebel basketball. It's presented to you by, where's our third quarter? Epic Recreation, I beg your pardon. Make your vacation an epic one to remember. You can visit Epic Recreation at epicrecreation.net or call them at 435-946-EPIC. It's the conclusion of our Crawford Trough halftime show with the Rebels down by 2 against the Braves here in Rich County. We'll be right back with the third quarter of basketball.
When you're looking for one location that is centrally located in Wyoming to host a business meeting or corporate retreat, always consider the Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper first. With meeting rooms and amenities that everyone can enjoy at the Come On In is the best place to host events. The rustic decor, fireplaces, jacuzzis, pool, and large indoor atrium will make your event memorable. Call today and find out the ways we can help make your event a success. Come On In Hotel and Suites in Casper. Call 307-472-6300.
2 roads diverged in a wood, and I had just purchased new tires at Plains Tire in Evanston. The trained tire technicians at Plains Tire expertly mounted, balanced, and aligned my new tires, so I was feeling good. While I was there, they changed my oil, checked my brakes, fixed my AC, and made sure my shocks were in tip-top shape. And with their lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations, I was ready to roll. So, thanks to Plains Tire, when 2 roads diverged in a wood, I took the one less traveled. Plains Tire, 157 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
And we have our third quarter underway now between the Rebels and the North Summit Braves. 7:50 to go in the third quarter, presented by Epic Recreation, and it's a 2-point lead for North Summit as they inbound the ball beneath the Rebel basket to Quinton Jones. Has his shot go off the rim. Second chance opportunity, and drawing the foul for North Summit was Trayson Pace. So a quick trip to the free throw line for North Summit, something the Rebels did not do at all back in that first quarter. Something they're going to want to pick up for sure here in the second half as Pace puts his first free throw attempt up and has it go off the mark. Second free throw from Pace up and no good as well. Rebounded by the Rebels. And here we go. Rich has it on offense right now. Moving it around. Up top with Connor Greer. Greer dribbles to his left for a second. Now a bounce pass nearly taken away, but goes to Scott. Scott on the near wing. Passes down low to Meerbrook. Kicks it back up top to Riley Taylor. Taylor inviting a screen to come his way. Has Huffner behind him where he flips it to. Truman Huffner picks up starts to dribble now. Passes it over to Greer on the far wing. Greer drives in, picks up his dribble, passes off to Taylor. Taylor draws a foul. And Riley Taylor drew a foul on Alec Hunsaker. It's the first foul for the Braves in this second half and the third for Hunsaker in the game. Rebels have it on the top of the key in offense. Here's Logan Meerbrook with the top of the key, passing to Huffner, who drove into the paint, put up a shot, nearly winning off the bank, but unable to. Rebound goes to North Summit. Braves picking up some tempo, looking down low inside the pace to Quentin Jones, who drew a foul, and he's in some discomfort right now. Quentin Jones went down and is holding his left leg. Hopefully he's okay. And they're going to have a break here, a timeout to attend to Jones. Hopefully he's okay. He's holding his left leg right now, his lower leg. We'll step aside for a quick break, and when we return, we'll have the rest of our third quarter. It's a 25-23 lead for North Summit with 6.5 to go in the third quarter.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
As one of the region's most visited websites, mylocalradio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Check the weather forecast or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit mylocalradio.com today to stream it all live.
It's a 2-point lead for the Braves as they put up a free throw attempt that misses from Ethan Judd. Quentin Jones, by the way, was helped off the court, not putting any weight on that left leg of his, or on his right leg, now I think about it, actually. So, excuse me, his right leg. Hopefully he's okay, though, as he's being attended to on the bench. 6:23 to go right now in our third quarter. Rebels fumbling the ball and rumbling the ball, and over and back is called on the Rebels as Scott and Huffner could not connect on a pass. So it's still a 2-point game, and 6:20 now remaining in the third quarter. Braves lead on the station on main scoreboard, and they've got the ball to inbound it at half court. I'll tell you what, though, Quentin Jones being on the bench is a big loss for this North Summit team. He's their leading point getter and rebound getter. North Summit has an entry pass taken away. Here comes Connor Greer. Has it on the near wing, pass it to Scott for three in the corner. That's too deep, rebounded by Taylor, though, and a jump ball is called after some tough play from Titan Hemingway. Actually, I think they called a foul. Ignore that, so it's a foul on the Braves and on Hemingway. Inbound pass for the Rebels goes to Scott. He passes up top to Huffner. Under 6 minutes to go in the quarter. Huffner passes to Greer on the near wing, who drives along the baseline now. Reverse layup off the mark. Whistle blows, and a foul is assessed to the Braves. So it will be the Rebels to shoot a pair of free throws for the first time all evening. Connor Greer takes a trip to that free throw line. As always, our free throws are presented to you by Bear Lake Realty. Gary McKee, the most experienced and highest volume realtor in Bear Lake. Visit bearlakerealty.com. First free throw up and no good from Greer, who's looking for his first points since the first quarter. That first quarter, he went off for 7 and was quiet in the second and still dormant. Second free throw now for Greer up, and that's no good as well. Rebound goes to the Braves. But a poor dribbling has a ball kick off a foot of Trayson Pace, but they kick it out for a 3 that connects. A big 3 from the Braves. And it's now 28-23, the first basket for either side in this third quarter. We'll update our Station on Main scoreboard as the Rebels work on offense. That 3 was from Camden Mosher. And right now it's the Rebels having a jump ball called on their offensive possession. So 28-23, North Summit lead. They have it by 5 with 5:15 to go in the Epic Recreation third quarter. Rebels have it on offense. They rebound it beneath the North Summit basket. Bounce pass goes to Logan Meerbrook at the top of the key. Passes to Greer on the near wing, who goes up top to Huffner. Huffner dribbling near the center R in the court. Now it's on the near wing for Greer for 3. Off the rim, no good. Rebound goes to North Summit, and the Braves bring it up. It's Hemingway manning the point guard position for now. Quick bounce pass to Camden Mosher. Mosher looks inside on a cutting Hemingway who couldn't put it home. Had a great look at it, just couldn't finish it off. John Scott picked up the loose ball, though, and now goes the other way. Cross half court, passes to Huffner. Inside pass, now back outside to Greer for 3. That does connect. First basket of the second half for the Rebels. It is 28-26. Rebels trail by 2, and right now some full court press is harassing. 10 seconds is called as North Summit could not get it across in time. Rebel basketball near midcourt with 4:18 to go in the third quarter, and here comes some rich momentum. Huffner crossing half court. Just over 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. Rebels trail by 2. Huffner passes inside, tried to get through some arms and was unable to. It's taken away by North Summit. Braves look down low to the baseline, and knocking down a good mid-range jumper was Trayson Pace. And we're back to a 2-possession game. It is 30-26 in favor of the visiting Braves as a timeout is called by Coach Cornea. So 3:51 to go in the third quarter. The Rebels down by 4, but picking up some momentum as of late.
Some decisions in life have a critical and lasting impact. For example, choices concerning your health care. You want a hospital that consistently offers high-quality care and service. For Bear Lake area residents and visitors, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital has been providing optimum health care to our community for more than 70 years. And Bear Lake Memorial has been recognized again this year as a top 20 hospital in best practices for quality. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
It's a 4-point game between the Rebels and the Braves. It has the visiting side on top, though, on our Station on Main scoreboard with 3:51 to go in the Epic Recreation third quarter. I'm Matthew Peterson. You're listening to Rebel Radio on 98.3 FM KADQ and video live stream at mylocalradio.com. We appreciate you making Rebel basketball a part of your Thursday night, and what a matchup we have right now between these two Northeast Utah teams. Scott with the Mound Valley Cattle Company inbound pass to Huffner. Huffner passing over to Greer for a quick 3. Offline, rebounded by Rich. Back out top to Huffner. Huffner passing along the perimeter to Scott. Scott dribbling towards the top of the arc. Passing it over to Huffner on the near wing. Huffner gets it back to Scott. Scott puts up a 3. That's no good. Gets his own miss, though. And now Scott goes up with it. And a travel is called on Scott. So it's Braves basketball with 3:23 remaining in our third quarter. North Summit working on offense, looking inside the paint. Has a ball, escaped them out of play, and last touch by a visiting player, which means it's Rebel basketball. 3:08 remaining in the third quarter. Rich trailing 30-26. A quiet third quarter thus far. A combination of 3 total baskets, 2 for North Summit, 1 for Rich. Huffner at the top of the key, passing to Greer, who nearly had it slip through his fingertips, but regains it. Kicks it out to Meerbrook, gives it back to Greer for a corner 3. Splash! And we got a 1-point game. It is 30-29. Rebels clawing their way back in this one after leading earlier. A couple of threes from Greer in this third quarter have done so thus far. North Summit has it on offense. Moving it around is Pace. Working inside and kicking it out was Morrill. And a tipper around the rim nearly fell, but was unable to. Here's Hemingway for a 3 for the Braves. North Summit gets their own miss in the rebound, and they'll restart on offense. Just over 2 minutes to go in the quarter. 30-29 Braves. A long 3 from Pace, that's off cue, and it's rebounded by Greer. Greer crosses half court, puts up a long 3 of his own. It falls! He doesn't know how it happened, but he'll take it. And the Rebels have the lead. It's 32-30 thanks to 3 straight threes from Connor Greer. Rebels working on defense. Ball went out of play. A jump ball is called, actually. It was Logan Meerbrook on defense, and a jump ball, the arrow favoring North Summit. So the Braves will keep it beneath the Rebel basket with just about a minute and a half to go in the Epic Recreation third quarter. Hayden Meek is checking in now for John Scott, who gets a much-needed breather, I could imagine. Scott gets a heavy dose of the minutes each and every single game. North Summit feeds it inside to Hemingway. Now they look to Judd on the block, puts up a shot, rebounded by Meerbrook. He passes out to Huffner. Huffner picked up his dribble and slowed it down, thought about shooting the 3, opted not to. Passes to Meek on the far wing, back to Huffner. Huffner passing to Grohl on the near side and back to Huffner at the top of the arc. Huffner looks inside to Taylor at the free throw line. Quick pass to Meek, it's short. Rebounded by Meerbrook, puts it up. No good, gets his own miss. Second chance, he's fouled. He'll shoot 2. Talk about some hustle from the big fella. Logan Meerbrook will take a trip to the free throw line. Trying to add to this Rebel lead, which has been constructed so far in this third quarter by 9 points from Connor Greer. Meerbrook trying to get his first points in a little bit, and he does so there. It's now a 3-point lead for the Rebels, 33-30 with 1:03 to go in the quarter. I'll tell you what, 3-point shooting, we talked about it at the half as the second free throw is no good for Meerbrook, but a ball is forced loose and the Rebels come away with it. They pass to Grohl, who looks inside to Taylor, went up with it, had his shot denied, ball is poked, whistle is blown, and they're gonna say it's a foul on the Rebels. So it's Braves basketball. Foul was on Jaden Grohl, his second. It's the 4th for the Team Rebels. Under a minute to go in the Epic Recreation third quarter. North Summit brings the ball up the court. It's Hunsaker passing off to Pace. They look up to Pace, the top of the arc. Pass to Hunsaker on the near wing, who drives into the paint, tries to go up with it. Travel is called. Rebel basketball with 34 seconds to go in the quarter. Rich with an opportunity to hold on for the last shot and build on this 3-point lead. Pace passes it across to Grohl. Grohl looking at top of the arc to Riley Taylor. Taylor goes to Huffner on the far wing, looks inside to Meerbrook, 15 seconds, and a foul is called as Logan Meerbrook went up with it, and they're going to call an offensive foul on the Rebels. Riley Carrillo is going to check in now for Logan Meerbrook. That's Meerbrook's third foul. 14 seconds remaining in the quarter, and now it's North Summit with an opportunity to potentially tie the game. Quick bounce pass inside, and a foul is quickly called on Riley Carrillo as he was trying to get back into position and overcorrected himself a little bit, it appears. And head coach for North Summit, Aaron Priest, will call timeout. There's 7.6 seconds to go in the Epic Recreation third quarter. We'll step aside for a quick break here. It's the Rebels leading by 3.
If the idea of owning your own home in beautiful Bear Lake sounds like more than your finances can handle, visit the experts at Bear Lake Realty to learn how you can make it happen. Gary and Amber McKee at Bear Lake Realty can show you how to buy a home and rent it out, so it pays for itself while you enjoy it some of the time as well. And soon, you'll have your own place in the Caribbean of the Rockies. No one knows the market better, and no one else serves you better than Bear Lake Realty.
Braves basketball with 7.6 seconds to go in the third quarter. They have it beneath the Rebel basket, down by 3. Quick pass to Crockford. He shot up a 3, no good. Put back attempts, no good. Loose ball goes to Meek, who drew a foul with 1 second as a loose ball turned into a scramble, which Hayden Meek emerged with possession, made his way towards half court, trying to put up a prayer, and North Summit foolishly fouled him. However, it's not a 1-and-1 situation yet for the Rebels, yes. Meek to inbound it. Goes to Huffner for a corner 3. At the buzzer, yes! Yes, yes, Huffner! Truman Huffner delivers at the buzzer to extend the lead to 6 going into the fourth quarter. It's 36-30 with 1 quarter of Rebel basketball to go after a Truman Huffner 3.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. Dr. Todd Hoover does all of the chiropractic work you need, as well as blood work, dietary supplements, a weight loss program, x-rays, and can help you get rid of migraines and allergies. Call Hoover Chiropractic at 307-789-0043.
What an exhilarating finish to that third quarter. Hayden Meek drew a foul with 1 second. The inbound pass was at half court, and the Rebels found Huffner open in the corner at the buzzer. No time to spare, knocks it home, and Rich holding on to a 6-point lead as we enter the fourth quarter. It's brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital as Greer starts it off with a 3 of his own. The Rebel lead continues to build. It's 39-30. Connor Greer having an amazing day. Braves trying to respond. Judd has it at the elbow. Judd looks inside the paint, has a missed shot, as it was Pace releasing it. Whistle blows as both sides were scrambling for a loose ball. Well, they're going to call a jump ball or a foul. I'm not sure. The Rebels are going to have a conference at the moment. But for that time, Connor Greer has 4 threes in the second half, 5 in the game. The Rebels shot 19% at the half from beyond the arc. I can't wait to see how that number will balloon up at the end of this game. It's a 9-point advantage on the Station on Main scoreboard for the Rebels. Braves have it inside the paint after a quick inbound pass, and a travel is called on Hunsaker. With 7:24 to go in the game, here come the Rebels trying to extend this lead even more. Huffner gets to the cross half court, passes to Greer. Greer dribbles to his right along the baseline, picked up his dribble, kicked it out for a Taylor three. Everything's falling. Another three. 42-30. And the Rebels are pouring it on here. Unbelievable. A football came on the court, actually, which caused a whistle to blow in the middle of all the celebrations. But Riley Taylor gets his first basket of the evening, and it just keeps on going. Here comes a three from the Braves to respond. That won't fall. Rebound goes to Greer. Greer gets it across half court. Passes it over to Taylor at the block. Taylor goes up with it, has his shot denied. Hunsaker moving the ball up the court, passing to Hemingway, whose floater is off the mark, rebounded by Scott. 42-30 with 6.5 to go in our Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. Rebels lead. A dicey pass from Scott eventually finds Huffner, who drove into the paint. Had his shot go off the rim, no good. Got his own miss. Second chance couldn't fall, and here come the Braves. North Summit gets it across half court. Dishes it off for a trailing pace off the glass and good. It's a 10-point game as the Braves get their first basket of the fourth quarter. 42-32. It's been quite the run for the Rebels as a timeout is called by head coach Lex Cornea with 5:58 to go in the fourth. 42-32 on the Station on Main scoreboard in favor of the Rebels.
Some decisions in life have a critical and lasting impact. For example, choices concerning your health care. You want a hospital that consistently offers high-quality care and service. For Bear Lake area residents and visitors, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital has been providing optimum health care to our community for more than 70 years. And Bear Lake Memorial has been recognized again this year as a top 20 hospital in best practices for quality. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
The Rebels are on a 16-2 run. At one point they trailed 30-26. It's now 42-32 on the Station on Main scoreboard in favor of the home side. Largely due to some three-point shooting. At the half, Rich was only shooting 19% from beyond the arc. Now over 30%. Connor Greer had three triples in the third quarter, and both him and Taylor have one to start the fourth quarter now. Inbound pass from Scott goes to Taylor, gives it right back to the senior Scott. Scott dribbling to his left, picked up his dribble, found Greer in the corner for three. That can't fall. Rebound goes to Taylor, gets to Scott wide open, gets to Greer wide open underneath the basket. A couple of misses from the Rebels and some good defense by North Summit. Puts the ball out of play, and the Rebels will have an inbound pass in front of their own bench. 10-point advantage with 5:40 to go in the fourth. Inbound pass presented by Mound Valley Cattle Company goes to Huffner. Huffner at the top of the arc, pass it over to Greer. Greer passing it in the corner to Scott. Scott, now back where he was just standing, over to Truman Huffner. Huffner in the far wing, pass to Meerbrook at the top of the arc, who finds Scott. Scott dribbling in momentarily, passes to Greer, who looks alongside the baseline, draws a foul as he went up with it, and Connor Greer will shoot two. So 2 free throws for Connor Greer with 5:13 to go in our fourth quarter. The Rebels have had a short stay at the free throw line this evening. It's only their fourth free throw now, but Connor Greer knocks it home. That makes number 5. Greer having a great night. We'll talk about his numbers later. 43-32 after the first make it 44-32. Back to a 12-point lead. Braves work it inside the Rebel paint, and going up quickly with it was Trayson Payson. Used the glass to his advantage to knock it in. 44-34, Rebels lead on the Station on Main scoreboard. Huffner crossing half court, passes over to Scott on the far wing. Scott looking for some help, finds Meerbrook at the top of the arc. Meerbrook now dribbles to his right, picks up his dribble, passes to Greer in the corner. Greer lost it but regained possession, drives through the paint, off the glass, no good, and a foul is called on Taylor on the rebound. Looks like a reach, an over and back or something to that nature, and it is Braves basketball. It's the third foul on Taylor, and we have 1 and 1 now, as that is foul number 7 on the Rebels. So doing the free throw shooting will be Alec Hunsaker. They are only 4 of 13 right now, that being North Summit, but make it 5 of 14 after Hunsaker makes it a single-digit game now. It's 44-35. That's only the 7th point in the entirety of the second half. Make it 8 now for the Braves after Hunsaker knocks in a pair of free throws. 8-point ball game, 44-36 in favor of the Rebels. Greer has his pass taken away. Here come the Braves. Braves dishing it off to Hunsaker. A big block by Meerbrook. Tried to save it though, but he was out of play when he went for that loose ball. But what a fantastic block by Logan Meerbrook. Mosher passing it to Hunsaker in the corner for a 3. That falls, and the lead is trimmed down to 6. It's 4, or make it 5, 44-39. Couple quick scores from North Summit, and they're back in this one with 4 minutes to go in the game. Meerbrook with the Rebel possession at the top of the key, passing to Huffner. Huffner moving his way inside the arc, then going back out and passing to Scott. Scott pressured near the half-court line, dribbles past the free throw line, whistle blows as he put up a shot. Foul is called on the floor, so it'll be 1 and 1 now for the senior Scott, trying to build on this free throw line, and that is foul number 5 for starter Alec Hunsaker, a big loss. Hunsaker been a big scorer, and replacing him will be Cameron Croxford. So North Summit without Quentin Jones, the number 1 guy, and Alec Hunsaker, the number 2 scorer. Big hurdles to overcome, but still a 5-point game. Scott, free throw is up and no good. Goes out of play, last touch by a Brave. So Rebel basketball beneath the North Summit basket with 3:44 to go in the game. Rich has a 5-point advantage in our Bear Lake Memorial fourth quarter. Quick inbound pass went to Meerbrook. His shot was off the back iron. Rebound goes to Croxford. Braves bring it across half court. Croxford drives in, beautiful finish, no. Got to the basket but unable to finish it. And a whistle blows and a foul is assessed to the Rebels. And now both fan bases less than pleased with the referees tonight. But it will be a 1-and-1 opportunity for Trayson Pace. Pace at the free throw line. First free throw up and good. And it's a 4-point game all of a sudden. Just a moment ago, it was a 12-point lead, and the Rebels have been on the wrong end of a run. It's been a 8-2 run. Make it a, 8-2. Second free throw goes in and out, rebounded by Huffner. Under 3.5 to go in the game. Rebels have it on offense. It's Greer working down low and drawing the foul. Foul is charged to Wade Morrill. So it's going to be another free throw opportunity for Connor Greer. It's only the first foul for Morrill. So 2 free throws here. They call it a shooting foul. Or 1-and-1. First free throw up, in and out. Shooting foul indeed. First free throw misses, in and out Berger. So we'll keep it at a 4-point game for now. Connor Greer in this fourth quarter has 5 points. Second free throw up and no good as well. Student sections from both schools getting rowdier by the minute, or by the second for that matter. And Coach Priest is going to call timeout with his side trailing by 4 with 3:11 to go. We've got a great finish in store for us. Don't go anywhere. It's a 4-point lead for the Rebels with 3:11 remaining in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
(44-40). Rebels holding on to a slim lead now as the Braves have been making a comeback push. There's 3 minutes and 11 ticks remaining in our game, and we have an exciting finish awaiting us, I am sure. It is North Summit basketball when we resume play. They're going to inbound it near midcourt as both sides will try to hold on, or the Rebels try to hold on to this lead. And as for the Braves, they're going to try to dig into it a little more. Inbound pass goes to Crockford. Crockford at the top of the arc. Passing it across. And now it goes up top to Murill. Looks inside for pace. Shot, no good. Offensive putback. And Wade Morrill draws a foul on his way back to the basket. So he'll shoot a pair of free throws with 2:56 to go in the game. And that could be foul. That is foul number 5 for Logan Meerbrook. So if you're looking at it as a chess game, both sides have lost similar pieces. The Meerbrook can't believe it, though. He doesn't think it's foul number 5. But he's out of the game now. That's his 5th foul. So both sides lose their big players, though. That's the point of this. Meerbrook, the center, and Quinton Jones left earlier with an injury. Riley Carrillo will replace Meerbrook. But at the free throw line right now, it's Wade Morrill trying to make it a 2-point game or at least a 1-possession game. First free throw up and good. (44-41). Morrill trying to make it a 2-point game. Second free throw on the way. Whistle blows. And lane violation is called. North Summit can't believe it. It's the second time it's happened tonight, and the second time it's negated a point. It would be a 1-point game right now if it wasn't for those. But we keep it at a 3-point game, still a 1-score game. Huffner gets the ball across half court, turns it over. Braves come away with it after a poor pass, and the inbound pass goes to Crockford. A 3 to tie it, no good. Rebound Greer, passing it off to Taylor. Gets it to Huffner. Huffner passes it over to Taylor. Taylor at the top of the arc, passing back to Huffner. Under 2.5 to go. Huffner looks inside to Greer along the baseline. Passes it out to Taylor, who works inside, puts up a shot, gets his own miss. Second chance is good. And we're back to a 5-point game now. It's 46-41. Here come the Braves. They hand it over to Cannon Mosher on the near wing. Mosher passing it up top to Morrill. Braves moving around nicely. Mosher beneath the basket. Has a shot go off the rim, rebounded by Rich. Under 2 minutes remaining in the game now. Rebels lead it by 5 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rich passes it inside. Going up strong with it is Taylor. Draws a foul. He'll shoot 2. And this is where the Rebels need to pull away with this game. It's a 5-point game right now. You make these 2 free throws, 7-point advantage with 1:42 to go in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. First free throw for Taylor, who's got 3 points this evening, is up and good. Got a little help from the backboard and rim, but it falls nevertheless. 47-41. 6-point margin. Both sides armed and ready for this rebound after a potential miss, potentially. Second free throw up and no good. Rebound goes to North Summit. They pass it over to Crockford. Crockford crosses half court. Passes to Mosher on the far wing. Mosher dribbles to his right to the top of the arc, slips inside the paint, puts up a layup that stays at the top of the rim and then rolls off. But an offensive rebound and a foul is drew by Trayson Pace. So Pace makes a trip to the Bear Lake Realty free throw line. He'll try to make it a 4-point game. His side trails by 6 with 1:25 to go in the game. First free throw up and good. 47-42. Rebels lead it on the Station on Main scoreboard. Second free throw from Pace is up and good as well. 47-43, and Coach Priest calls timeout for his side. It's a 4-point game with 1:25 to go in the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter when we return.
In the state where life is elevated, live your life in a higher gear. Cash Honda Yamaha can help you enjoy our beautiful local terrain, whether it's in the valleys, mountains, snow, or water. So get out and enjoy all nature has to offer at a higher speed. Visit Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley to start living your life at your new speed. Visit us in Hyde Park, just north of Logan, Utah.
Welcome back to Randolph, where we have a exciting finish awaiting us. It's the Rebels leading the visiting Braves 47-43 with 1:25 to go in our Bear Lake Memorial Hospital fourth quarter. These two sides have gone back and forth all night. Both sides have had 2 possession leads at one point, but now it's the Rebels holding on to a 4-point advantage on the Station on Main scoreboard. Inbound pass from Scott on their half of the court goes to Greer. Greer crossing midcourt. Now dribbles his way through the paint, passes it off to Taylor at the free throw line, who looks up top to Huffner. Huffner dribbling it around, picked up his dribble, passes it over to Scott. Scott dribbles his way in momentarily, now works along the block, goes up, draws a foul, and he'll shoot 2. Are they going to call it a 1-and-1? Yep, so they're in the double bonus regardless. And a technical is called. Wow. A meltdown here for North Summit. A technical is assessed to Wade Morrill. So the Rebels will have 3 free throws now. Leading by 6. They can push the lead all the way out to 9. Unreal. So John Scott will now shoot the technical first, and then he'll shoot his 2 free throws. Technical free throw on the way and good from the senior Scott. 48-43, 5-point game. You can make it a 7-point game, actually. So Scott gets his first point of the second half. He has 4 now for the evening. Another free throw up and good from Scott. 49-43. And third free throw is up and good as well. So 50-43. And Scott will continue shooting after he drew the foul that led him to the free throw line to begin with. And he is perfect. He's on a run. 51-43. It's an 8-point game. At the conclusion of some free throw shooting from senior Scott. 1:06 to go in the game. Rebels will inbound it. They get it out to Greer. Greer has it at the top of the key, dribbles his way into the court and loses as he went up with it, and it will stay with the Rebels with 59 seconds to go. The Braves were down by 4 just a couple seconds to go, it felt like, but they have pulled away after some big free throw shooting from John Scott. Inbound pass goes to Correa. He passes up top to Huffner. Huffner passing it over to Taylor at the top of the arc. 50 seconds remaining. Taylor passes to Huffner. Huffner on the far wing, moves to his right, now looks to the corner for Carrillo, who gives it back to Huffner. And a timeout is called by Coach Cornea. We'll keep it right here during this break. It's the Rebels holding on to an 8-point lead with 41 seconds to go. If they can just hold on to the ball here and kill the rest of this clock, they will get to a 4-3 record and send their rivals, the Braves, to 3-3 on the season. I invite you to stick around after the game. We're going to have our post-game coverage, a lot to cover in this one. We have had one of the best games of the year so far, so don't go anywhere. We're going to have a lot of great things going on, including our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap, our McKay Franken Precision Play of the Game, our Auto Farm Chevrolet Shot of the Game, and our Auto Farm Chevrolet Play of the Game, along with our Garden City Game Adjustment. So all of that at the conclusion of this one. But until then, we've got 41.4 seconds to go on the clock, with the Rebels leading 51-43 over the Braves. This is the first of 3 games for Rich this weekend. They're going to be home tomorrow and Saturday. Tomorrow it's against the West Side Pirates from Idaho. And on Saturday, it's a 4:30 matinee show against the Tinnick Miners. But for now, we have duties to attend to. 8-point game. Rebels lead it with 41 ticks to go. Rich will inbound it on the North Summit half of the court. Inbound pass goes to Greer. Greer has it on the near wing, passes it inside to Huffner. Rebels do not want to shoot it right now. They're making that obvious. They want to dribble out the rest of the clock, and here come the fouls. North Summit opts to, well, they fouled John Scott, who they just watched make 5 straight free throws. So that's foul number 5. After that foul on Cameron Crockford, that's the 3rd starter for North Summit to have to leave the game. 2 due to fouling out and 1 due to injury. Replacing him is Isaac Christensen. So North Summit down 3 starters. That's tough. That's tough to overcome. Scott puts up a free throw, which is good. 52-43. Rich leads by 9. Second free throw from Scott, up and good. 10-point game. Here come the Braves. They have it on the near wing. Pass it off to Mosher for 3 in the corner. Too deep. Goes out of play. Last touch by Carrillo, so it'll stay with the Braves. With 20 seconds to go in the game, the Rebels can just watch this clock dwindle down, and as they add a win, barring anything else. Another 3 from the Braves off the target. Rebound goes to North Summit. Putback attempt is no good as well. Rebound by Greer. Loose ball. And Greer is fouled first before that ball was put out of play with 8.8 seconds. So we'll have more free throw shooting. Now it's Connor Greer going to the free throw line. Greer in that 3rd quarter had 9 points, which put him at 16 going into the 4th quarter. And what did he do? He's got 21 points right now in the game and 10 rebounds, a double-double for Connor Greer. First free throw from Greer up and good. 54-43. Second free throw up and good as well. 12-point game all of a sudden. with some clutch free throw shooting for the Rebels. A long three from the Braves is on target and good by Christensen. And the Rebels can just run out the clock, and that's what they do. Your final from Randolph. Rebels take down the visiting Braves 55-46. They hold off a comeback attempt and make a comeback in the middle of the game themselves. A great game. You're going to want the great recap for it, so don't go anywhere. But the Rebels defeat the Braves 55-46 to go to 4-3 on the season, while North Summit comes to 3-3. We'll be right back with our post-game show right after this.
This presentation of Rich High School Athletics on MyLocalRadio.com is brought to you by these Rebel Sports Boosters, LSR Refrigerated, and the Walletines in Garden City. Darren, Tricia, and the entire Walletine clan wish the Rebels good luck. And by Cat Answer Technical Services, proudly supporting the Rich Rebels. The staff at Cat Answer Technical Services wish the Rebels good luck on the field, on the court, in the classroom, and in life.
Some decisions in life have a critical and lasting impact. For example, choices concerning your health care. You want a hospital that consistently offers high-quality care and service. For Bear Lake area residents and visitors, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital has been providing optimum health care to our community for more than 70 years. And Bear Lake Memorial has been recognized again this year as a top 20 hospital in best practices for quality. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Count on us to care.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today, Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
Welcome into our post-game coverage of an exciting match between the Rebels and the Braves of North Summit, which ended with the Rebels winning 55-46 after 4 quarters of great basketball. And let's get into our post-game coverage. We'll get started with our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. So the first basket of the game was scored by North Summit. They get out to a 3-0 start, but the Rebels and the Braves would exchange baskets throughout that first quarter, and ultimately it was Rich going into the second quarter with a 4-point lead, 15-11. Then in the second quarter, a much more defensive game was played. A much quieter second quarter. The Rebels only scored 7 points in that second quarter compared to 15 in the first, and that allowed the Braves to come out on top going into the half, up by a narrow margin of just 3 points, 25-22. So that was it for the second quarter. Third quarter, even more defensive. The Rebels, like I said, went into the second quarter up 22, down 25-22, and not many baskets were scored in that second quarter, except in that third quarter, but they were all threes. You look at our stat sheet, Connor Greer had 3 triples. Right, Truman Huffner chimed in with one of his own. So that Truman Huffner 3 was actually right at the end of the second quarter, I think. No, end of the third quarter. Now I'm trying to think. End of the third. Okay. So I trust myself. But the Rebels ended that third quarter really hot from beyond the three-point line. We're going to talk about that later. And it was a 6-point margin for the Rebels over the Braves, 36-30 after 3 quarters of basketball in Randolph. Fourth quarter, wow. What an up and down story. So remember that score, 36-30 going into the fourth quarter. The Rebels went on a massive run, a 16-2 run. They would go off and go up 42-30 early in the fourth quarter. Then it kind of got out of hand for a moment. You looked at the score, you see, it's 44-35. Rebels comfortably ahead. They're flirting in that 9 to 10 point range, but the Braves had other ideas, and you've got to give this North Summit team a lot of credit. They came on the road. They lost their number 1 player, Quentin Jones, midway through the game due to injury. They lose their second best player when it comes to scoring due to 5 fouls by Alec Hunsaker. So they're down their top 2 guns in that fourth quarter, and they claw back to a 3-point game, 44-41. At that point, you got the feeling like all the momentum is with North Summit right now. This could be a coin flip finish. However, the Rebels would hold on to win after some huge John Scott free throws, and they would cruise on to a 55-46 finish. And that is our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap, where fresh and fast meat. Visit them on Front Street in Evanston. Always, always, always a delicious sandwich. I thoroughly enjoyed my BLT today, as I always do. Now time for our Dr. McKay Frankham Precision Play of the Game. We have lots to pick from, but I'm going to give it to, actually, lots to pick from. Truman Huffner gets the Precision Play of the Game after an amazing corner 3 with time expiring 1 second on the clock as he got the inbound pass on half court from Hayden Meek. And that is our Dr. McKay Frankham Precision Play of the Game. Precision Family Dental Care at reasonable rates. Call the dental office of Dr. McKay Frankham to schedule your appointment today, 307-789-8910. All right, folks, that's it for the first half of our post-game coverage. When we return, we'll get into our Auto Farm shot and play of the game, along with our Garden City game adjustment, before looking at what's coming up on the calendar. So don't go anywhere. We've got more post-game coverage coming your way. The Rebels take down the visiting Braves 55-46.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
It's human nature to think the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. That's not always true, especially when it comes to buying vehicles. This is Dennis Lynch, General Manager at Auto Farm Chevrolet. Dealerships pay the same price for new vehicles across America. The fact is, the best deals are right here, in your own backyard. The difference is that our employees are your neighbors, people you can trust. Please visit us first, Auto Farm Chevrolet. We are your community-driven dealer.
Rebels take down the Braves 55-46, your final. As we are in our post-game coverage for the Rebels, who improved to 4-3 after the victory to start the new year. And now let's get into our Auto Farm, a community-driven dealership shot and play of the game. Well, Truman Huffner got our Dr. McKay Frankham Precision Play of the Game. So how about our shot of the game goes to Riley Taylor. Bit of a snake in the grass. Wasn't on the stat sheet much except for some rebounds in that first half, but first basket of the game, just loads up for a long 3 and buries it. Kind of a cherry on top after 3 straight threes from Connor Greer, and that felt like a huge nail in the coffin to close out that third quarter. Start that fourth quarter, I beg your pardon. So Riley Taylor with a big triple to start the fourth quarter. That's our shot of the game and our play of the game. A lot to pick from. There were a lot of great steals in that first half. So let's award the defense here. Connor Greer, our play of the game, he had 5 quick points. A 3-point shot, forced a turnover, went down the court, put up a layup, 5 points in maybe 10 seconds. So that is our shot and play of the game provided by Auto Farm Chevrolet. Visit them on Front Street in Evanston. Now time for our Garden City game adjustment where families play. And wow, did the Rebels come to play today? We talked about it before. Rich shot 19% from beyond the 3-point line in the first half. And I said at halftime, I don't want to toot my own horn, if they can turn that up in the second half, this will be a different story. I don't know if they had the game on in the locker room, if they were listening to me, but that's exactly what happened. The Rebels finished shooting with 9 3-point shots, only 8 from inside the arc. They were better from outside the arc than inside the arc. I don't know if I've ever seen that happen. Rebels finished shooting 33% from beyond the 3-point line, 31% overall. As for North Summit, they shot 32% from the field. Rich also had 0 free throws in the first half, 22 in the second half. Unbelievably turning around right there. We're talking about 19% in the Rich went 3 for 16 from beyond the arc in the first half. They go 9 for 27 in the second half. They were 0 for 0 at the free throw line in the first half, and they get 22 points in the second half. And they shot 55% from 3 in that second half. Lights out shooting. So that's our Garden City game adjustment. You get 2 free throw shooting and 3-point shooting. All right, folks, we'll step aside one more time. It's a 55-46 win for the Rebels, and when we return, we'll look ahead at the calendar. A lot of great basketball this weekend. Don't go anywhere. More Rebel basketball coverage coming your way on Rebel Radio.
2 roads diverged in a wood, and I had just purchased new tires at Plains Tire in Evanston. The trained tire technicians at Plains Tire expertly mounted, balanced, and aligned my new tires, so I was feeling good. While I was there, they changed my oil, checked my brakes, fixed my AC, and made sure my shocks were in tip-top shape. And with their lifetime alignment checks and tire rotations, I was ready to roll. So, thanks to Plains Tire, when 2 roads diverged in a wood, I took the one less travel. Plains Tire, 157 Fair River Drive, Evanston. As one of the region's most visited websites, MyLocalRadio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Check the weather forecast or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit MyLocalRadio.com today to stream it all live.
A 55-46 victory for the Rebels over the North Summit Braves. And let's wrap up our post-game coverage with checking out the calendar. What's coming up? We've got a busy, busy weekend here in wonderful Rich County. Tomorrow, January 8th, it's the boys' side clashing with the West Side Pirates here at home. 7 p.m. tip-off, while the girls will travel to West Side trying to avenge their loss. The last game they played was against West Side back in late December. And so it'll be the girls going up to Idaho tomorrow for a 4 p.m. start. The coverage will be down here in Randolph with the men's team. And then on Saturday, I also got to mention Rich High Wrestling will be at Lyman tomorrow for a 2 p.m. start. So both the basketball teams and the wrestling squad getting in the mix tomorrow, January 8th. And then on Saturday, January 9th, it's the Rich High Wrestling team with a morning start. Get some eggs, bacon, orange juice, and wrestling underway as they'll travel to Bear Lake for a 10 a.m. start. But then the boys and girls basketball teams are home for a doubleheader. Boys get going first for a 4:30 p.m. start against Tinnick, and then immediately following that game, it's the girls basketball team taking on Bear Lake at 6 p.m. Another avenging opportunity for Rich. Both their games this weekend are against teams they lost to in December, and they're going to try to turn it around and pick up wins this time. We'll have coverage for the boys basketball game tomorrow, 7 p.m. start, 6:30 p.m. pregame show. And then both the boys and girls basketball games on Saturday, January 9th, going from 4 with the pregame show for the boys to the conclusion of that girls game, which will start right after the boys game ends. Well, folks, for my producer, Alyssa McDaniel, and for my cameraman, Rob Leifson, I'm Matthew Peterson signing off. Rebels take down the North Summit Braves 55-46.
You've been tuned into Rich High School Rebel basketball on Rebel Radio, KADQ-FM 98.3, with video online at mylocalradio.com. Today's match has been brought to you by these Rebel supporting businesses: Evanston Regional Hospital, Hoover Chiropractic, Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley, the Come On Inn in Casper, Plains Tire, the Best Western Dunmar Inn and Legal Tender, Freeway Tire, Auto Farm Chevrolet, West Star Printing, and Rocky Mountain Sign. The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of Old West Media, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the aforementioned rights holder.